It's snowing outside. Ever since it started getting colder, everybody in my house has been eating so much more. And this is the first time I've gotten my kitchen to myself in like 2 weeks. So we are making blueberry muffins today. Fire wanted some muffins, so that's what we're making. I have a bunch of frozen blueberries. Apparently blueberries are more nutritious when you freeze them, and I prefer frozen blueberries. There's some stuff I need to get together first. I'm gonna put my brown sugar in one of these jars. I like to repurpose things. I can't always find the right containers on Amazon, and also this saves me money. I have a lot of big goals and they're going to require investments, so I don't want to waste money on trivial things. I like to do as much as possible to keep everything in my kitchen organized. I literally lose my mind when things are not where they're supposed to be. I guess that's from my mental health disorder. I'm not really sure, but I've always been that way. I've always needed everything around me to be in order for me to not be triggered. I've always been like that. All right, I got my brown sugar together. So now I'm using this white wheat flour. I also have regular whole wheat flour. I like to use King Arthur because they have organic flour and it's just a really good quality product. You can't just use any old thing when you are cooking. All right, now this is a vegan blueberry muffin recipe. So I've got to make buttermilk. But I'm putting apple cider vinegar into my nut milk. So I got this almond milk. Well, Fire got it from the dollar store. It's gonna expire in 1 week. So I'm gonna hurry up and use this for baking because I'm not putting it in my hot chocolate. Okay, so 1 1/4 cup. And then I'm gonna double this recipe. Okay. And then 1 tablespoon, so I'm gonna need 2 tablespoons. I got these on Amazon. 1 tablespoon, okay. Oh, I didn't get my vinegar. Oh, it's over there. This, I believe I got from Aldi. It's organic apple cider vinegar. With the mother. I like to mix that with water and take shots when my stomach is upset. Okay. Wait, does that say teaspoon? Oh, I was about to mess up. Let me focus. That's a tablespoon. 1 teaspoon. Okay. Okay, now we're gonna set that to the side. Spirit telling me to use more. I'll use a little bit more. Just a little bit though. Okay. All right, so my oven is preheating at 400 degrees. Now I'm gonna get together all my dry ingredients. I need flour, sugar, baking powder, salt, and it says cornstarch, but I'm not going to use cornstarch. You can substitute cornstarch with potato starch, wheat flour, flaxseed ground, almond flour, tapioca flour, arrowroot powder, or all-purpose flour. So you don't have to use cornstarch. I'm already using wheat flour, so I'm just going to omit that. I've just decided I'm going to use some whole wheat flour too, half and half. I didn't make too much of a mess. I like to clean up as I go along. So now we've got all of our dry stuff in one container, and I'm gonna clean and get to the wet part. I used to move really quickly when I was younger, and as I get older, I realized the importance of slowing down. I also realized the importance of silence, but we'll talk about that at another time. Okay, the oven's ready. So I like to slow down when I cook and put intentions into my food and every action. And if I'm using a new recipe, I like to really focus and make sure that I haven't missed any steps, because cooking is not just a spiritual practice and a healing tool, it's also a science. So this recipe calls for canola oil. I have never used canola oil in my life. I'm going to use avocado oil. I must say, I don't appreciate there not being a 1/3 option on here. Thank goodness I need 2/3. I don't want to use the dry measure, but that's what I would have done. Well, I added the vinegar to the milk. It don't look curdled to me. It's looking real regular. Well, I'm gonna add some cinnamon to this recipe because I put cinnamon in everything, and I'm not using the vanilla that they asked for because I don't have any homemade. I'm gonna make my own vanilla extract. It takes 2 months. You just put vanilla beans in clear liquor and let it sit for 2 months. I like to make my own. Cheaply made vanilla comes from the sac near the anus of a beaver. It's called Osterium or Costrum. Osterium, something, you can look it up. Just look up vanilla and beaver butt. It'll come up. Okay, one last check. Yeah, we did everything. I'm gonna get the blueberries out the freezer. Oh, it's actually bubbling, low-key. You got action. Bubbles. Ready? All right. We're gonna add the wet stuff to the dry stuff. Let go. Go ahead and add my oil to my buttermilk. I don't have a whisk anymore. I should grab one off Amazon. I'm not using my hand mixer because I don't want to over mix my mix because it's going to produce too much gluten and it's going to have more of a bread consistency, and I want a light, airy consistency. So that's why I'm taking care to kind of just fold the ingredients in and not do a heavy mix. When it comes to batters like this, lumps are okay, as long as they're not flour balls. You don't want that. And then after we mix this, I'm gonna let it sit, and then I'm gonna fold in my blueberries right before baking. Scratch that. Small lumps are okay. Not big ones, because that is flour and you need to mush that. Or somebody's gonna get a mouthful of soggy flour when they bite into your food. Listen. See that? That was one that I popped. When we say small lumps are okay, those little tiny ones are okay, but the bigger ones are flour, and I'm gonna need to bust those. And I do that by taking this utensil right here and just smushing any of them up against this wall, this little, and then continuing to mix. So if I see a ball, I just push it up against the side of the bowl and keep it moving. Yep, this is good. I always like to let my batters sit for a few minutes because otherwise I feel like they just taste like flour. So I'm gonna clean up, and then I'm gonna go get the tray that we need to bake this. I'm excited. I'm defrosting these blueberries because they were frozen, and I feel like it's gonna add too much moisture to the recipe. See all that ice on there? I'm about to get that out and drain these real quick. I don't know if you heard me over that water, but I had to get that ice off of there, so this is what we're left with. And I cleaned out the pan. I got these from Amazon. I made sure they were unbleached. See? Alright, so I'm gonna fill these up. And the directions said to spray them. That's my sprayer, that's avocado oil. I'm folding in the berries now. I'm so glad I listened to myself this time, because something told me not to put in a whole bunch of berries in here. It could use a couple more, but we're gonna go for what we got. I'm gonna use this half of a cup scooper to fill them. Now this recipe did call to add lemon zest. I didn't do that because I didn't feel like it was necessary. And I promise you, I'm not wasting my $5 lemons that I use to make tea every day on this recipe. This is so good though, I did taste it. I used 2 different types of sugars. I used the cane sugar and the brown sugar. Did you know brown sugar is cane sugar with molasses in it? I did not know that. I like to study cooking. All about seasonings, how to use it, and with what and why. Learning about using vinegar and all types of stuff when you cook. Learning to use things that you wouldn't think to pair together, like cinnamon in a savory dish. I learned that from the Africans. And just learning different techniques and stuff like that. Things you would never think of, like using dry mustard. I didn't even know what dry mustard was. Yeah, actually, this ended up being a decent amount of blueberries. Those are not cheap. Okay, this is what we got. I'm gonna clean that off so it doesn't burn. Clean it now, clean it later. You feel me? All right, I cleaned it up now. I filled it up at different lengths just to see, or different heights just to see where I should do it next time. Should I do it halfway? Should I do it a little further? We're gonna see. All right, into the oven. 22 minutes. Let's actually set the timer this time. And not just say we're gonna set the timer. I got this timer on Amazon. I'm gonna start at 15 and see where we're at because it is job on 400 degrees. And they're small. So let's check it in 15 minutes. That might be good. Because you know, Spirit be trying to help you. Okay, so we have enough for, oh, how many was that? Was that 18? I'm gonna count it when we get out. I'm gonna wipe everything down and wash any dishes I have, and I will see you in 15 minutes. All right, it's been 15 minutes. We're gonna check. Okay, yeah, it definitely needs a couple of minutes. I should have followed it out. Okay, 22 minutes. Okay, whatever. All right, 7 more minutes on the clock. I'm gonna grab this before I take that hot stuff out the oven without anything on my hand. I've done that before. I was about to say they're a little pale, but I used white flour. Duh, white wheat flour. They look legit, so I can fill them up. Ooh, look. Judah Messiah, look. Look what I did, Judah. Used half white wheat and half wheat flour. I used a cup. The cup, like the measuring cup, I used the measuring cup.
I want to get one of those scoops from work.
Say that again. It is pretty good. This was a wig. You know I really like videos of it. Can you believe it? I'm excited.
Girl, I was just
So
saying
you really don't need dairy to have delicious baked goods. And no, it's a dozen. So I made 2 dozen. Yep, I'm gonna put these in the oven. 22 minutes though. So you really do not need dairy to have delicious baked goods. Roger is clowning me because I'm trying to do my outro. Leave me alone.
Let me mess you up again. You gonna yell at me?
She don't yell at me. I'm playing.
I definitely yell at him. He's lying.
I don't care. I'm gonna defend my mama.
Thank you for spending time with us in Fury World. We love you, and we'll catch you in the next episode. Peace.